Hey everybody. Should be caught up to the broadcast in a second. Here we go. So this is No Man's Sky, game that needs a little introduction if you're in the know on games and such. Started out with a rocky reception, but they've updated the hell out of it since then. And I've always enjoyed it. And it's often a good fun go-to sort of mellow game for me.
It definitely has been one lately for you.
Yeah. They updated a ton, kind of like Minecraft. So the game is always rather different when I come back to it, if I go long spaces in between. And as I said on the other stream, Zelda's pretty much been what I've been doing. But I thought I've been playing this enough, I might as well stream a little bit of it.
Well, Dominic Monaghan, it's one of his faves to go to, other than, of course, League of Legends.
Yeah, this is more my thing, and I'm not playing it online.
Well, not multiplayer online, because technically you are playing.
Yeah, it's sort of connected on the internet anyways. There are community missions and stuff you can do that things other players have done would still affect. But then there's the other mode where you have, like, everybody running around and there's a big community for that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm gonna do right now, it's nothing too exciting, but is mine this new planet for silver, possibly expand my aquatic base, and scan and check out the life forms and other things.
Some of those things look like dinosaur, peacock.
Some of the aliens in this game are odd. Yeah.
Goat things. What the hell?
Most are easily spooked.
I was very wrong with my my description. It's just a thing.
It's a creature.
It's a thing, after all.
This one looks more like a predator that would hunt the others. And he's got this little teeny dinosaur head on a big...
Your anteater butt?
Yeah. But yeah, let's scan the animals and find out more about them before mining that silver.
Silver.
That's how you acquire currency in the game, essentially, is by scanning things on the planets.
Basically, get stuff through knowledge.
Yeah.
You know.
Kind of Star Trek-y, you know, we're exploring strange new worlds and beaming down and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what that is.
Think. It's got two tails. Two.
But it's an open world sandbox kind of game, so not your thing as much.
No, I don't really like sandbox games that much.
I've always been excited about an open galaxy type thing, though. And there's multiple galaxies in this game. I've really only been to two, however, for long. Okay, I think I already did that. Before we do the mining, though, I want to check out this abandoned building. At least I'm guessing it's abandoned. Let me see. The transmission tower. But a lot of the gameplay is just scanning and collecting resources and building, which if that's your vibe, I get it, and if it's not, I get that too.
Yeah, it's basically a super mellow, you know.
It can be.
Yeah.
There can be aggressive creatures or pirates in space or other things.
Or the frustrations of building some things and it doesn't go quite right. That part makes me think of Fallout 4.
It's,
the building and things not going quite right.
Yeah, the build mode in this kind of makes me think of that game, but it's honestly way expanded and a lot better than even Fallout 4.
Fallout 4, it was so clunky.
It was, but it was new. And I still spent a lot of time with it. Basically using our tricorder to scan rocks.
Yeah.
But it's a head-mounted scanner.
That's actually really cool. Here.
You see where I get the kind of Trekkie... Holy crap.
Well, this game makes me think especially of like a combination of like Voyager, mainly for like the isolation, and then just the planet stuff makes me think of the original series Star Trek.
Yeah. And the creators took inspiration from a ton of other things too. I know they took inspiration from Herbert and a bunch of other sci-fi things. So there's actually a lot of cool stuff you can read about it. It's been a long time though. He's cool looking.
Now the game is much more what they originally promised.
Exactly. It started out way bare bones and clunky compared to what they promised, but they were an indie company who I think bought off more they could chew, or you know.
Yeah, they definitely
reach exceeded their grasp initially, but they're still updating it now. It's still being played, and that's one of the things that brought me back to it is all the updates and new things they've added. We won't even scratch the surface. I'm just, you know, gonna bum around and kind of explore and do what I do, and anyone who wishes can join me. You were saying? Sorry.
Just, you know, have a bit of fun.
I think we scanned most of the things outside the building. There's some aerial creatures, birds. Sure harder to scan. Not like they used to be, but things are gone now. Okay. Anyway, let's see what this description's all about now. We get some silver.
We both have done it now.
Yep. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Yukon Cornelius, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But literally, every time you said silver, that's all I've heard in my head.
I do that in any sort of mining or resource gathering based game.
You act like Yukon Cornelius? Or
If I find silver. Or gold, depending. But we need silver for the base that we're building, so. Okay. So you grab the units. And yeah, I know you're not as familiar with this, so if you have like any questions about stuff. You've watched me play some though.
yeah.
You've helped me with some of the puzzles that happen here in these transmission towers.
Yes. I'm good with puzzles.
I can't do the number puzzles.
I like number puzzles. Because it's just patterns. I don't see it as numbers, but patterns.
We got a distress signal here. What were we just saying? Yeah.
Hold on. And bring out my notepad.
There's going to be a repeating, like, sequence in there.
There
I
is.
suck at this kind of stuff.
I just gotta isolate it. Okay.
If anybody's having trouble hearing either of us, to chime in and let us know. We can fix that.
41, 122, and then rando number. Okay,
Either way, it starts with 3.
No, it's a 5. Right?
1, 2, 2, and then the next sequence
Oh.
is 3, 5, 6.
I thought you meant
3,
the
6,
first
5,
number,
4, 5,
and
5.
everything is a 3, and I'm like, no, that's a 5. Oh, Lord. Okay. 9. We try this, and then 9. We try this. Next one is 9. Like a +9.
Sorry, everyone. Not my area. I would have probably guessed at this point, unless I was feeling really ambitious and want to. Is it multiplying?
Hold on. That's what I'm trying to find out. So take the original times 2. That didn't work. The only other thing I notice is I see the difference between the 14 and the 41.
Otherwise, we'll just guess.
Yeah. I mean, it may be easier in the long run to just guess, but there's that part of me that wants to know. Hold on a minute. 122 minus 41.
I think it's 365,
41
but I could be
plus
wrong.
81. A little mini theory, I want to check it. Oh, I figured it out! I'm so cool.
Which one is it?
Hold on. Okay. So the order, it goes 5 times 3 minus 1, which is 14. 14 times 3 minus 1, which is 41.
Okay.
And then 41 times 3
66.
minus 1 is 122. So then 122
I'm sorry, I'm thinking
times
ahead.
3 minus
I'm
1,
adding ahead.
it's 365.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, actually. I'm not just making
See?
that up.
I told you, I can do this shit. I have no idea how.
We got the coordinates. Let's find out if it's on the planet or elsewhere. We haven't explored any of the planets in the solar system yet, so. This one scanned the highest for the silver resource we got, so.
I can hear, like, through like the stream, I could actually hear me manipulating the almost 3-liter bottle.
Yeah, we're using not the best microphone right now, but
It picks up things though.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that I figured that out.
I
Yay.
appreciate that. That's why, you shouldn't send just one person on the away tour.
I'm the science officer.
You are.
Which is actually my favorite person to play in Star Trek stuff, is the science officer.
I think I'm usually security, but that's because I like the action.
Yeah, you're usually security.
But I would enjoy a science
Your
officer type role.
Klingon, like half Klingon, was security.
I kind of just do whatever I want here in No Man's Sky.
Within reason. There are certain things that if you do.
Well, you can anger these robot guys, which are sentinels, and they're basically galaxy police. If you over-harvest or attack the animals or
So don't be a murder hobo.
Or just do something crazy, yeah. These are
I
like
can-
those dinosaurs with those,
An ankylosaurus.
Ankylosaurus.
Ankylosaurus. I would call it an ankylosaurus as a kid.
I believe it's Ankylosaurus.
I think you're right. It sounds more right, anyway.
Hexaberry. I think that's processed into edible stuff.
Is that a hexberry?
It's called a hexaberry. It's an edible product, or it can be processed into it. Right now I'm just collecting a bunch of
Bring is
resources
it?
on my frigate.
It's like a hexadexipus.
Yeah. Not frigate, freighter. Which might be up here somewhere.
It's hiding.
I can call it in. No, I cannot.
Why?
They didn't work here with me, and my my smaller ship's warp drive can go further.
Oh yeah, I remember that. You
Yeah.
warping over here.
My ship is the Midnight Star, which I guess is a shuttle class. I'm not positive, but it's basically like not a fighter. I've kind of made it into like almost a Falcon type thing. It's heavily weaponized, but has room for cargo. Not as much as I'd like, but it's my go-to.
And FYI, for those who don't already know, it's also the name of the ship from Danny's Star Wars campaign.
Which actually, yeah, comes from a D20 Star Wars campaign book. Whoopsie, I'm mining more crystals than I'm getting greedy, so checking it out. But I'll probably sneak around him, because I kind of want these before I get this over. I've been using a lot of this,
He's like, what the hell are you doing? And you're like, I'm not doing that.
I've been using a lot of these resources to, help with my, underwater stuff.
Yeah.
He's following me around. Every planet has a different level of, aggressiveness to the Sentinels, too. This one is, requires orthodoxy is what it says for Sentinels, which is not a common one that it says, but they're clearly,
Persnickety.
keeping a tight watch. They don't mind if you mine the metal, though. So let's find that marker I had made, if it still have it, for the silver. We'll go get that.
I still heard it in my head.
I think my scanners are picking up a subterranean creature, Captain. Nope. It's just over the hill here.
It's through the woods.
Okay. I think the game is super correct to look at, too. You can turn it into a desktop screenshot sort of generator. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm playing the game I had started back when I first got it, which was like 4 years ago now, mostly because a lot of the tech and sort of experience that you level up with, I didn't want to have to go through again in order to keep exploring.
Well, haven't you played, like you said, over 200 hours?
Yeah. But the world just keeps growing. And I've been, every time I would start a new playthrough, I would end up just coming back. But then there are full alien languages and such that you have to learn throughout your explorations, and just that I have barely any unlocked words in. But once you do, you can understand them better.
It makes sense.
Because you interact with other species on settlements and spacecrafts and space stations and stuff. Okay. I think when I marked the distress beacon, I got rid of the silver I had found on my scanner. I had, it's right there. Distress beacon should still appear though on my scopes or whatever, yeah. We can go check that out after I mine the silver. It's a very Star Trek thing to do. But this is a relatively, I say as I get hurt, harmless planet. Some of them have extreme like environment conditions and like can wreak havoc on your life support and protection modules and such. There's a lot of like equipment you have to recharge and keep going, etc. So there's a lot of like resource management. See, I just learned their word for there, the Viking race. That's one way to do it.
That's where you are. You're there.
I'm there. Wherever you go in the universe, man. There you are.
What is that again?
It's from, I think it's Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, we've been watching the sci-fi documentary.
In Search of Tomorrow.
Yeah. And it'll talk about, influential sci-fi from the 1980s and some really obscure, weird sci-fi. And it's like, what, 4 or 5 hours long, give or take?
Yeah, like 5 hours long.
Yeah, it could easily be 8 hours. There's so much they could talk about and that they clearly are not talking about. So it makes me wonder if they're going to have a part 2 eventually.
You never know. They did with the horror equivalent that they also
Search of Darkness.
Yeah, I'll go for a ride on the alien here. The creature, animal. Let me switch my camera view while I'm on it. Where am I? Oh, there I am. Can't use my torch now. That's okay. I won't get anywhere at this speed.
That thing makes me think of several different sci-fi aliens I've seen before.
It makes me think of a giant, like, rhino beetle.
Yeah. It's like, combine that with, well, the thing I was going to say is also very bug-like, with the aliens from Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
That's a lot more spiky looking, and this one looks like it could exist in that same universe. Oh, shit.
I didn't mean to jump off.
It's like, I'm sorry.
Some of them you can, like, make speed up, or,
It booped you.
I think this is one of those creatures that you would,
It looks like it would be delicious to eat.
I was gonna say it would hurt you if you pissed it off. I'll feed him one more time.
But I'm like, I'm mentally picturing that one Japanese guy who I watch who does fishing and all that stuff.
Oh, here we go.
I'm mentally picturing him break that thing down and cooking it and then eating it. And being like, I gotta try the sashimi of it. I know no one's done it before, but I'm gonna do it.
You would try it. You would eat this.
I would eat this, yes.
He's my friend. Why would you eat him?
Because he looks like he could be a delicious crustacean to eat. Like a lobster. Or apparently some...
I think that's the same guy.
Some, like, Japanese isopods, like the huge ones. Apparently they're horrible if you eat them cooked. But their sashimi is apparently good.
They stalk prey for days. They're venom urchins. That's their diet.
Venom urchins?
That's what it says. Scared of mirrors.
It's because they're scared of their own reflection. They're like, what the hell is that?
Produces bone nuggets.
Bone nuggets? That's so disgusting.
I'm going to switch back to first person most of the time because I find the game much easier to control that way. I know some people who prefer third, but this one I really do prefer first.
Well, it's because it's more immersive that way.
Yeah,
And you
I'll
can
go into
really...
third with my ship sometimes more. There's a rock I haven't discovered on this planet yet.
You haven't met this rock yet.
You may have to get closer to get a lock on it.
Have to get inside there.
But yeah, this planet is classified as a lost blue planet.
Well, it's very blue.
Let's see. Fathomable storms. Copious flora. Yeah, definitely. Hang on, I'm super thirsty. I need a sip of my beverage here.
I've been sipping away at mine, so I totally get it.
I usually zone out and talk less when I play this one.
Imabashi.
And I can lose hours playing this because, and like any sort of resource management or harvesting type game, you can kind of get addicted to the flow of it. And there's so many different types of ways you can play it. I'm actually just taking it easy for the most part. I couldn't even like go over everything you could do in it right now without
All the things.
just having to quit and be like, let's see. After all the updates, I'm not even sure, man.
That's what I just said. All the things.
This is
And
the
see, then
first
we're done.
planet of this type I've been to, so that's been so bluish. It's very blue.
You were at a really cool monochromatic one of the last times I saw you play.
Yeah, it runs the gamut. They're just such really cool and weird looking planets. Friend again. Excuse me. Here, I'm going to, no, I can't summon an exocraft here, that's right. I haven't explored this far from, or rather this far into like the deeper, less inhabited space in a while where my freighter and stuff can't go, so. Unless I built a thing to summon an exocraft, which is one of the smaller land vehicles, I'd have to build it, you know. So we'll hoof it to the silver deposit, maybe.
It's alright, we can enjoy the area around us.
And I can make sure I didn't miss scanning anything, at least in this region. The actual landmass of these planets are huge, too.
As they should be, they're planets.
Like, real size of planets could be some of them larger than Earth, some of them smaller. From what I understand, anyways. All procedurally generated, so. There are places and planets I've been to a lot that I still haven't seen. So there's always something new to find. Life support looks good. The weather hasn't been that bad, so I don't have to worry about...
So far.
Yeah, so far. It doesn't have extreme temps like some planets or toxic atmospheres, which can be tricky, especially in the beginning. That's another thing, because I've upgraded my tech so much, it's a lot easier to explore than it would be if I were to start over.
Mm-hmm.
And with the game having kind of a renewing content, it's easier just to keep going.
I don't know, it makes me think of playing Metroid Prime, and at the very, like the first one, and when they start you out, you got everything, then they strip everything away from you.
Right.
I both love and hate when games do that.
They don't give you everything at the beginning, at least.
No, but if you're used to playing with there being more, and then it's gone, it's what it makes me think of.
Oh, this isn't the silver one we're tracking. I'm gonna dirt. This is India. I'm still gonna grab it because it's rare.
I'm reading it as iridium because of I have bad eyes.
You're good.
And I'm like,
You can only get this element in the more remote star systems like this one. Basically blue and green stars and red stars. Whereas the yellow stars are more common. And it is usually where you will start out in the game you begin.
that makes sense.
Because basically they throw you on a harsh planet, or at least a random planet. It's always been harsh for me. With very little equipment, and you have to basically do this kind of stuff and grab different resources to start building and repair your ship when you find it.
I know in the earliest run of the game it was even more tedious.
Yeah, it kind of was a groove. It was a real mellow kind of zone out escape for me at the time, but there's much more option out there in game for what you can do.
Yeah.
Sorry. Being derpy here. Gonna dig a big hole and get rid of all this indium.
Dig a big.
Which you need to build hyperdrives that are strong enough to travel to these types of systems. My big ship is sort of a hub for all the other smaller starships I've collected, and it's where my storage units are and where I do a lot of like back and forth.
Like the Dameron.
Yeah, well the Dameron
Another
is a small
Star Wars.
ship, yeah.
Wink and a nod.
Yup. A lot of my ships have cheeky names. My freighter is named kind of like a Federation starship from Star Trek with the whole NCC designation. But it's the Venture, which is a reference to King Kong. In the brief time I tried to play Star Trek Online, that's what I was going to name my vessel, and it was already taken. Where is that damn silver? That was the indium we just got. May not have grabbed every last speck of it, but... 562 used that way. I think we'll grab the ship from this one, guys. Oh! That means there's a structure or like a settlement of inhabitants here, or a space station being attacked by pirates. And you can hop in your ship and defend them. Oh, they're attacking this.
Okay.
Which would be an attack against the Viking alien race, I believe. With the Viking Observatory. And they're sort of the more warrior-like Klingon or Krogan.
Did they kill some of the animals?
They may have, unless one of the other animals hunted.
I don't think so.
Those bastards. Fight some pirates. Like I said, random events and things can happen and shit can go down easy when you think you're gonna be mellow. There we go. How many more are there?
This bit makes
Oh,
me...
it was just one pirate raiding this building, dude.
This bit makes me think of Battlestar Galactica.
There's bits of that in this for me. Star Wars too. It's the wish fulfillment of flying around in your ship and having battles and exploring and, you know. The game I would have loved as a younger lad and still love now, honestly. But I grew tired of it after a while. Even then it gets kind of tedious at times, but then you can always come back to it.
I don't like with me in Animal Crossing.
Yeah, or even like Stardew Valley, or...
Yeah. Especially games that have a lot of monotonous, repetitive tasks.
like Minecraft for me.
I just don't like Minecraft.
I know.
I'm like the only one in the house who doesn't like Minecraft.
I like Minecraft, especially survival mode, where you're exploring and gathering resources and basically doing what I'm doing here. But
Yeah, but creative mode isn't really your thing as much.
Unless I have one, like, cool thing I'm trying to build.
That's different.
Which I have here, too, my base.
Yeah, but you're doing it survival style.
Yes, and that's what we need is the silver. I can turn off my flashlight. Or torch, as they call it.
Well, it's a British company.
Yep. You're right.
Yep.
And there's a weird, like, therapeutic sort of satisfaction I get sometimes from just mining away this stuff and seeing it all come crumbling away. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It's the beauty of destruction.
Yes, you're right. The anarchist is coming out.
Yep.
One or maybe two deposits of silver should be enough for when I need to go back to my home system and when I can show off my base. My third base, I think, that I've built before. And I've never been happy with any of them. And some of the mass updates that the game had actually changed the rules and mechanics of how certain things worked. And actually kind of fouled me up in the old days, too.
Like the one with the cool, like, drop in the mountain.
Yeah, my Seems like a lunar base or a dead planet. Very much like something you'd find a Juggernaut ship on in one of the Alien series movies. But for obvious reasons, it wasn't the most hospitable place to set up either. It was just cool. Technically, my base is on a swamp planet. It had a different designation too once graphics and planet design even changed a little bit after a huge update years back. But it was for the better, so... Okay. Identify some more things, maybe get a little more silver, and then we can...
It's like, yeah, but it was cool.
say goodbye to the planet for now, unless we find something that gets us sidetracked. Which, like,
What about the distress signal?
like that, yeah. I forgot. Yeah, we gotta do that. That's why you're here.
I figured.
Captain, what about the distress signal? Yes, of course. Ah.
By the way, hi Giggity. I know that you're watching.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, he's watching on his TV.
The more the merrier.
Mm-hmm.
We're just on a silver mining expedition at the moment, primarily, but there's always a distress signal or some other thing, you know, a beacon. Kind of like in Skyrim, you'll be on your way to a town or a dungeon, and you'll end up halfway across the other side of the map doing something.
Oh, and the hamster is watching too.
Hello. Welcome to the planet Runo, 28Q1. Seems there are a lot of sentinels monitoring my activities here, so it's going to be trickier to harvest a lot of resources.
That's when you're like, just sneakily read.
Otherwise, you can fight them, and they'll give chase, and that can be fun, but it's always a fight to be had, for sure. They're basically peacekeepers. There's
Oh, and Malele too.
Hello. Hello, everyone. There's a whole lore and backstory that you encounter through like transmissions and tablets and things in the game too that kind of explain the interaction and dynamic between the main alien races and the Sentinels and the machines and things.
Makes me think of the Keepers in Mass Effect,
Kinda, yeah.
but ones that can become
And
more
there's like
malicious.
other variations, like full-on ships and things, almost Cylon style, you know.
Yeah.
Although everything in this game is much more colorful. But I like that. Okay. Let's see if we can find anything else. We could go to the distress signal and then scan for silver from there on the way out. Hopping in the Midnight Star. Which what I'm going to do for a minute. Wait a minute, what do we got here? Another alien, not alien, another pirate ship is out
Get
there.
it.
That's a hostile. That's rare. Unless he's left over from the attack earlier.
Seems a little far away for that.
I don't know if I'm going to catch up to him.
It's like, wait up.
So everybody can see the outside of my ship.
Careful flying.
I'm always careful flying.
Sure. I'm like mentally like splicing in little clips of you playing GTA and crashing all
Oh, well.
like the helicopters and planes.
I suck at the flight anyway. I'm not going to worry about giving that guy a chase. Best to let him get away. Alright, let's check out the distress beacon. Which we will arrive at in just under 3 minutes. Real time, it tells you. If I want to get there super fast, I could go out of atmosphere and then use my pulse drives, which is kind of like warp, but not, because warp is to jump only from one system to another. It's the super fast turbo drive.
It's the little red button.
The little red button. I actually got to feel my launch thrusters. That's another thing, is if you run out of fuel or other such resources that you really need, or stuff for your life support, that can be a real pain.
Yeah, and it can leave you SOL.
I've played enough that I've managed to build up enough resource and sort of know how to get by, though. Really, my freighter is the godsend, because it's a flying base. Excuse me, it's a land, so even when I don't have a regular base, I can take that one with me. But to get here on that, I would have had to work the slow way, system to system, along coordinates, because of the range.
Now that especially makes me think of Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, there's tons of coordinate jumping in that.
Yeah,
And there is in this too, dude. Sometimes it's a safe way to escape too, if you can do it in like a tight spot, and your engines aren't jammed. Basically, between waves of enemies during an attack, you can jump out of there. But you can see why, if I'm just doing stuff like this, it can be a good zone out mellow game. So I apologize if I'm not being super chatty. I have been more than normal, so.
Yeah, when you normally play this, you're super like zoned in and quiet.
I love the music in this game too. It's super good.
Very.
Very atmospheric. Some of it even has a Blade Runner vibe to it.
Oh. Blade Runner. So good.
Very synthy, very atmospheric. And the dogfights in space can get intense sometimes. That was a small one. And you can play this in VR on PS4, which we have, but I haven't tried that yet. I'm worried the space flight, or at least space fights, will make me dizzy.
But Star Wars didn't make you all that dizzy, did it?
I think the dogfights are more spinny and topsy-turvy in this almost. The Star Wars ships have a different weight to them. We have arrived at our coordinates. External temperature 79.3 degrees Fahrenheit. Which, if you're a player pretty much anywhere else, you can switch to the other system.
I actually was about to ask, because I'm like, I know this is a British game, why is it not in Celsius?
I believe it was localized for me when I got it already to be like set on Fahrenheit, but I'm not sure.
But that makes sense, because, quite a lot of the world does not use Fahrenheit.
But this ship has got me very far across the galaxy.
Yes, it has. You've had that ship for a long
She may
time.
not look like much, but she's got to wear a cat's kit. Well, I started out in a different galaxy and played to a certain point where you had the option to jump really far, and I took it. And there are sort of two main story mission things that carry through, but it's very abstract and has to be found rather than spoon-fed to you. My main goal, though, is to get to the center of the galaxy.
I wouldn't want to get to the center of our galaxy. That would be a very, very bad
I've already
thing.
traveled through a black hole in this.
Yeah, but a real black hole.
At least I don't think I did. I know it was more through the Atlas, which is this, overwatching intelligence that people either follow and worship or rebel against. And there's a whole lore about that, and how it got me here to the galaxy. Okay, so what this distress signal is somebody's crashed ship from some time back. And I can actually claim it and add it to my collection if I want to either repair and use, or sell, or junk, essentially for scrap. Which is probably what I'll do, is one of those three.
Mm-hmm.
Hope nobody minds I'm not reading the text aloud.
The broken body of a tender behemoth lies awkwardly nearby. The craft must have crashed with such ferocity that little else is intact inside the ship. What's she gonna do?
One.
Which, my own vision made that slightly difficult, and I'm like, okay, I know some of our viewers have almost worse vision than I do, so I figured I might as well read it.
Okay, I just disassembled it essentially for some tech.
Disassemble.
Let's have a look at this ship. I'm not positive on the ship classes, but they have them all. I've tried to look them up, but the designs of the ships are also randomly generated and pieced together with like a bunch of preset parts, so that you can get a lot of ships that look almost the same but are slightly different. But I think this is a shuttlecraft like mine, like the Midnight Star. Yeah. B-class. Mine is better. I have a ship just like this.
It looks like a bug.
It kind of does. I have a very similar one that I'm repairing right
it's
now that I've named the Comet.
So cute. Break it.
I have to actually go to a place to scrap it, but I can claim it for now and add it to my collection. And later it'll be on my
your freighter.
On my freighter to repair and do with as I please. Which, if I want to sell it or scrap it, I still have to fix it up enough to fly it out of my ship and take to like a space station where I can do all that stuff. So I always have a project ship or two. Okay. We'll search for a little more silver and then we will take off. I don't think that's the one I came from.
We have another person who joined us.
Welcome, whoever you are. We're exploring the planet Runor for silver. And just acquired a new busted ship to add to my collection on my freighter to be fixed.
Someone just asked in chat, you know, basically, how's it going? I just got this game yesterday and I'm absolutely loving it so far. That's AS.
I really like this game. Yeah.
But yeah, this game especially is a lot more I want to say cohesive than when it first came out, and it's
absolutely.
Even though, yeah, I'm not a big fan of sandbox games, I love watching you play this game. It is just so beautiful. And
thank you. I love having company when I play, so that's why I want to do streams too.
Yeah, because then you get to, you know, show off some of it more, and there's then a little bit more to sort of do with it, you know?
Did I already get this?
Hannah was basically saying how she hasn't played it herself, but the interest is definitely there.
It's really neat. And you can lose hours just doing one of many types of things that the game offers, especially now. I would get there a lot faster where I need to go if I could summon in a ground vehicle. But just in the interest of time, as cool as all this is, I'll take my ship. Although I found a new animal I can scan.
ASMR Days was saying, I heard it was garbage at first, but after all the updates, it's gotten a lot better, and I can say it's great.
Yeah, I didn't actually even get to play it quite at launch, but it was still relatively new. And
just
it was janky.
From watching other streamers play it when it first launched, it definitely was not, like I said it was earlier, it was not what was promised. It wasn't horrible, but it was definitely not polished. It would be nice to say it wasn't polished. But
like I said earlier, they were overly ambitious, and they had all these ideas that they finally gotten out. There was no way they could deliver on what they promised in the time window.
Well, it didn't help that, wasn't it Sony that overhyped them? To where they had all that pressure now on them?
Sony basically, distributed the game.
Yeah.
And that's where their deadline came from, is Sony.
Yeah. So, for all the issues in the beginning, we can blame Sony. Here, I have a few more things here. So, Hannah saying, I know some folks You didn't follow the hype before launch, had fun with it right out of the door.
I was kind of one of those people because I only caught on to the hype during like the last couple of months before it really came out and thought, oh, this looks neat, you know.
ASMR Days has another. I'm just reading them for you to make your life easier.
Yeah,
Saying,
they do have a small dev team, so
yeah.
they were saying.
But I know that if you sprint one melee, then jetpack, it'll propel you forward.
Yep, like that. And it runs your jetpack out more quickly, but it is a faster way to get where you're going.
Yeah.
We're fairly close now to where we need to be.
There's some great games, though, that have really small dev teams, like, you know, Project CD Red. They're still fairly small, and it's like...
CD Project Red?
Yes,
Yeah.
what I flipped it.
You're good.
But, but it's still done so much. And again, I talk about another game that was super ambitious, Cyberpunk, which some people still give them crap for, but it's like, okay, they had to change so much during all of that production time.
It's changed a lot from launch, that one, too, into something more cohesive.
Yeah, but I'm even thinking when it was first announced, it's completely different.
Oh, they had to rebuild it from scratch, yeah.
Yeah. And
Which
that's
causes
not easy.
problems more often than not, I've noticed.
Yes. ASMR Days on PC, the graphics are amazing. How is it on console?
Well, I'm actually streaming on console. I think it's not bad at all. Some things take a while to load in on occasion, or you'll get frame rate drops, but I've never been super stingy about that.
And this is on PS4.
PS4, yeah.
So
there's
it
a PS5
pushes.
version now, where they've updated it to include next-gen support.
I definitely would say it pushes what the PS4 can accomplish.
Oh, absolutely.
Both that and Cyberpunk both push our poor PS4 to where we have to always have the fan on when those games are playing. Otherwise, it's gonna just crash.
Yeah. I don't actually have a PC strong enough to run this, I don't think, capably. So
Oh god, no. Neither of us do.
Alright.
Mine barely likes to run Stardew Valley.
I think I'm just wandering in circles chatting like I did on...
You were trying to find your ship, I think.
Well, I was headed to... Did I ever get that silver deposit?
You didn't get the second silver deposit, no, so you only got the first one.
I found it and walked right past it and was visiting with everyone, which is cool. Here we
It's
go.
all good.
That's why I like to just kind of be chill. Here we
Yeah.
go. I think the graphics here on PS4, though, are still pretty enough for me, if that makes sense.
Oh,
I'm not getting no 60 frames per second or anything like that, but it's all good.
Yeah, it still looks great.
Chances are I'm more likely to eventually get a PS5.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're cool. If I don't know if I'll upgrade my PC before I actually get a PS5, and that's still a while down the road, but I imagine that this runs a lot smoother on that.
But still, ASMR Days, that's hella impressive of getting
That's
it
rad.
144 FPS. Oh, and Hannah was saying, I think my gateway should run it based off other games she's tried. It's something she wants to wait for a Steam sale, though. Yeah.
From what you were telling me earlier, yeah, I think you'd be fine handling it. What am I doing here?
But I would, it wouldn't hurt to wait for a Steam sale. Or, I don't know, is it on GOG?
I don't think
Or is it
so.
only Steam?
I think it runs like 20, 30 bucks nowadays, maybe.
It's not that bad, really.
And it's constantly updated, like I was saying.
Yeah.
There's so many things when I fell off the wagon of playing it that I never got around to doing even now. And I honestly, myself, don't get bored even just spending forever smashing rocks and exploring and doing this kind of stuff. But I think we're about ready to head off planet. So I may have missed a few things I wanted to scan in, but I did get a lot of creatures and plants and such. Let's see.
Yeah, you'll probably maybe
I'll
come
be back here eventually, maybe.
Yeah, you never know.
I like the look of this one, so I'll remember it.
Yeah, and I have seen you come back to planets before that.
Oh yeah,
Not
especially I'll come back to a galaxy. if I
Yes.
haven't finished at least checked out every planet in it.
That makes me think of Mass Effect, like when I watched you play Mass Effect 3 all those years ago. And, you know, like, literally making sure, like, you 100%ed, like, everything.
Well, in that one, it was important because the more you completed, the better chance of a good ending you got.
This is still his first guy, so it's still compatible. But he's tried to restart before.
Yeah, and it's never stuck with me. I've always come back to this guy, so this is like 200 plus hours in.
Probably inching towards 300 hours at this point.
Yeah. And when you finish the quote-unquote story initially, there was still more you could do after, and then that's increased.
Well, it's like the new game plus is the bulk of the game.
In a way, it opens up a lot more opportunity because you have even more equipment and such. And resources, but I'm not like an expert or anything. I'm totally still new material here.
Well,
I'm not part of the online
update.
community. What were you saying?
I was gonna say, especially when they update everything, it's almost like you have to relearn so much.
Yeah.
But not in a bad way.
Watch out for that tree, George.
But yeah, so far I think one of the few, I can only think of like 2 people I know of who still constantly play this game. That one, of course, is, like I mentioned earlier, Dominic Monaghan, who, for anyone who doesn't know, everyone should, or at least most of you should know, was like Charlie from Lost, or, you know, Mary from Lord of the Rings. It's like one of his favorite games, and when he's not playing League of Legends, that's usually what he's playing.
I
This.
dig it. You
And
can
then-
name everything too, even the animals and elements. I haven't in a long time because once you name something, you can't rename them, especially planets. I'm always paranoid I'll name it something I don't like.
You've named some, though.
I have, off and on. It's like, I haven't in a long time, but I want to explore more, and I kind of want to wait till I find systems and planets that I really dig. My home planet right now, or home system rather, it's just the system I think I worked to when I did my first big jump at the end of my initial run through to a different galaxy. You can also go through black holes, which I do have one marked on my galaxy scopes.
I don't think, though, they're scientifically accurate like the one in Interstellar is.
No,
But
it's you know,
that was,
it's creatively done.
yeah.
I can't see any of the other planets in the system from this vantage point. Got some freighters coming in. This is my pulse drive I was talking about. I'm going to swing around the side of the planet.
It's like going ludicrous speed.
Ludicrous speed.
Go!
Then I can get a look at what the other planets in this system are.
Ooh, it's got rings.
My home planet has rings. Which we'll be heading there in a little bit so I can go to
Which-
my aquatic base.
Technically, I don't know if a planet can have rings and be a solid planet.
I don't know, but it don't matter. It's sci-fi, not science fact.
True. It just looks cool.
It's a rocky planet with lots of sentinels.
Things are moving in fast. Is that like your
No, these are
just people?
but they're space travelers. They're not like online players. They're computer controlled, but yeah, some of them you might be able to interact with and like hire on, because you also have frigates which are smaller than freighters, and you can send them on missions and you can recruit them this way.
That was a good one, Hannah.
I have the chat opened up here too.
Okay.
Tropical planet, aggressive sentinels, and that means they'll usually attack you on sight, so it's a tough planet to explore and map out.
Mm-hmm.
Japa. Okay, so that's 2. I think there's a moon or something hiding back there. Yeah.
Although that is something that does spark a minor discussion. So, with science fiction, there's so many of them that will either toe more on the line of fantasy, like Star Wars, or toe more the line of reality like Star Trek.
Yeah, well, Star Wars I call science fantasy. I mean, not science fantasy, space fantasy, rather.
Yes.
More than science fiction, which is what I would consider something like Star Trek, you know?
Yeah.
I never unmarked that. If I can. No.
And just like The Simpsons, Star Trek has predicted a lot of things.
Oh, sure. Flip phones, for one.
It's gone.
But yeah,
But
I'll have to
there
show you
actually
guys.
is a cool little camera that and it will basically see for them. Because there's a woman I follow who is blind, and how she became blind is crazy, but she's been using that so she can actually have it read things for her, or just identify things for her, and it's really cool.
Our friend Mike makes tech, or troubleshoots tech like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. It's a similar type thing, but different. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Assisted handicap technology, things like that. Really cool.
Which, speaking of like the handicap tech stuff, almost everything you'll see in an infomercial, that it's like, oh, why are they acting so silly or derpy, like they can't do a normal thing? It's because most of the time, a lot of those products are actually made with disabled people in mind.
Well, then that just makes the acting all the more terrible, dude.
Well, they're trying to be like, this is how a normal person would do it, and be like, oh no, my wrist, I can't hold a Tupperware. It's limp like a noodle.
Okay, there's one planet I haven't scanned yet. That's the moon. That's the planet.
I love how this part of space is very purple.
Yeah, every system has like a different color scheme.
Well, it would make sense because of their sun. Things would be different.
You can also mine for different elements of metals in space, like here.
Which is cool.
Don't really need platinum right now. So
Was
we
that
were
you
just
say
on
platinum?
Runo. Where was that moon?
Well, that is no moon. I can't actually remember the name of my favorite nebula, but it's like, I think technically both my background on my phone and my computer is the same nebula.
Yeah, here's a recruitable frigate. Maybe I'll recruit them. I haven't recruited a frigate in a long time, so I don't know if I ever run out of space or something.
Well, technically space is unlimited.
Space in space. Support specialist, supply vessel. I think I have to pay for it, but yeah, why not? I actually have a lot of units I can collect by uploading discoveries later too. I just haven't.
Might as well.
But we could use another freighter, because I do like to send them out on
Away missions.
yeah. Okay. Anywho.
Actually, one thing about space is because it's constantly expanding. It's like, because right now things are still relatively close together as far as space is concerned, because really things are still very far away. But they say that it's like the universe won't technically go away. It's almost like it's just spreading out further and
Sorry,
further.
I'm listening, but
Sorry.
I did do the map that planet, or not
Oh, you
mapped
did?
it, but scanned it. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I'm not gonna map it. I think I'm gonna head out, but yeah, I can't. Oh, we are being scanned. Sorry, you were saying?
Oh, how space is, because of how it's expanding, things are going to just almost be too far apart for anything to really do anything.
Not for like billions of years.
Multiple billions of years, yes. Humans will no longer exist.
To leave this system after this fight, I'll just have to travel alone, like how I got here. I just forgot. But we're being attacked by pirates. They just updated the way they updated the way space combat works a little bit recently too, with the controls as well as the strategy of it. Now certain weapons will work better against shields and such. There we go. I usually don't get too much trouble from random attacking ships anymore, but I used to.
Oh yeah.
Alright. Let's go to the galaxy map, which is really neat. And I did check it out once in VR, I just didn't play very long, and even that's cool. Each and every one of these stars can be traversed to in the game. There's like however many quintillion potential planets or galaxies in here. Or systems, rather. Because there are galaxies in this as well as systems in them. I'm in the Eisenbaum galaxy. And I started somewhere else. I can't remember what it was called. But I wouldn't even be able to find that on the map here.
No, it's a different galaxy.
It's way too far away.
Like, we're in the Milky Way galaxy, and our closest neighboring galaxy is the Andromeda, and they're slowly colliding, gonna boop into each other and merge to make one ultra big galaxy.
Once again, in another billion some odd years.
Multiple billions of years. Our solar system won't be around at that point.
Alright. We need to leave the Imabashi system. See if I can get my bearings and find where here. Okay, that's where you can see where I've spent the most time lately is over in this cluster here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is my home system.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go to planet Calidorn. Which is not very imaginative, because that's where Caliblade comes from, as my own character. But it's home. Right next to Planet Bob, which is a reference to the movie Titan AE. And that's my best resource gathering planet, because there are no sentinels there. It's a very fruitful paradise type planet, like Planet Bob. I love the graphics in the warping too. Super psychedelic and cool.
It's super Doctor Who. Like the intros of Doctor Who. Although some are more like cha-cha-cha-cha.
And I'm pretty sure, I named Flooded Sphere after some actual Roman thing, because I named it that, but I can't remember what it meant.
I can't remember
It was
either.
4 years ago.
Speaking of Roman things, Giggity, we have something we gotta show you later. There's apparently some graffiti in Pompeii involving two guys named Gaius and Aulus.
For anyone who wouldn't get that, which is most people other than like Thunder Kitty Eye and Giggity here, those are D&D characters of ours.
Who, those two are friends too.
They're friends in sort of a Roman-like society, and it just so happens, unbeknownst to us, there was two legit friends by that name in ancient Rome. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh. Actually in the chat too. Nice. Hello. There's Planet Bob, by the way.
But dude, isn't that amazing? The moment we were watching a history cooking thing and it mentioned that, we both just like looked at each other and being like, wait, did that just say what we think it said? Oh, it was awesome.
What do we got? Someone who wants to sell me stuff, looks like. These aliens, or this race, they're basically like machines connected through like a hive mind, kind of Geth-like almost. They look
Or
like
Borg.
that, like robots or Borg. Oh, they need repairs. Luckily, I have what they need. I usually have all that stuff stored on my frigate. Or, freighter. I'm gonna call everything the wrong thing, by the way.
You're like, it's my playthrough, I'll call whatever the hell I want.
We'll see my capital ship. I just gotta redirect a course around Bob here to planet Caledon. There we go. That guy interrupted me needing my help. How dare he?
Oh, I love it when you do that because it's like rainbows flying in your face.
Oh, the visuals are super cool. Caledon. We're going. It even looks kind of Star Trek-y with the saucer in the front, which is why I had to name it like a Star Trek ship.
It's like a
And these are all my frigates.
Star Trek in the front, shuttle in the back.
Battlestar Galactica. Star Trek in the front. See if I can land without crashing. Like that.
As far as those franchises would go, Battlestar Galactica would totally get Star Trek from yeah.
They're very different.
Oh, I know. That's why tonally
They're elements
Battlestar
of this.
would, you know, want to make Star Trek its bitch, while Star Trek would be like, oh, this is so inappropriate, I just want some tea.
Yeah. That's not one of mine, that's a guest. I could buy it from him, but
Meh.
I'll quickly show off my other ships. Some I'm keeping, some I'm selling. This is Comet, I think. Or is this the one I just got?
I think it's,
This is Comet. It looks a lot like the one I found, right?
yeah, the color's a little different.
I'm not sure if I'll keep that or not. I'm keeping my fighter, the Dameron T-71.
Farscape would film all of this. Are you kidding?
Oh yeah,
They
Farscape.
would offer snacks and film it, and then post it anonymously,
Here's what I found.
or not so anonymously. They would want ransom money after posting it.
Honestly, there are tons of creatures and things in here that feel like they've come out of several sci-fi titles.
Which nothing wrong with that.
Mm.
It's
Well, I love it because it's, you know, it gives me all the sci-fi feels when I'm craving that. It scratches my sci-fi itch. This is the first ship I flew around in most, which is why it's just like a shuttlecraft to this ship now. There's the Christmas vessel. It's not really a Christmas vessel, but
the colors are very either Christmas or
if
China.
I keep it, I'm going to give it a new paint job. It's another one that was busted up that I found like that. They're my fixer-uppers to do whatever I feel like.
Malele wants to know if there's a ship named Swordfish.
Not yet. There could be. So far, I just have Venture, Dameron, Midnight Star, Comet, and yeah, that's it.
Well, you have a new one now.
Yeah, but they come with built-in names. You can rename them. They like come with their old names. I didn't see what those were. Let's check. I always end up renaming them once I claim it as my own, but I always end up going.
Well, that was his gun in a. I can talk.
Swordfish?
No,
Oh, Lucky Charms. I should do that.
Yeah.
This is Talon of the Odin.
It's because we said Farscape. Now that's all that's coming into head. Fallout. Yeah, that was his gun in Fallout.
Yeah.
And
Also a D&D, a D20 character's handgun.
which is what I was literally about to say. I'm like, yeah, that's Philip's gun.
This other one is Suchu's hand. I can't remember what the original names for the ones I renamed were. I don't even remember when I named this comet, because of the blue comet, which is a long story. But
Oh, John Crichton definitely would name one Lucky Charms. Well, he had Winona. Which, that makes me want to have more roguish people name their weapons is because of John Crichton.
Oh, dude, absolutely. That's why I do it.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anyone who's watching this later and like feeling really out of place, we're having a audio chat with the text chat people.
Oh, I'm sure they can see because a lot of the time the chat is right next to.
Oh yeah, you can like click a little thing to show if you want to display it or not.
It's easier than with like some Twitch streams where they don't always show the chat and then you literally can't see it. Or no, I think you can. I don't know what I'm talking
Also,
about.
since a lot of what I like to stream is for family or friends who may want to watch later, I like that you don't have to pay for anything or whatever to store it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go aboard my freighter so I can drop a bunch of crap off.
But it's a live chat, so as the chat appears,
I get a little
tied with
notification
what you're doing.
too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. I hear if you are a huge fan of the games and you're expecting anything faithful, throw it out the door. But that it's a fun adventure movie, at least. That the Uncharted movie kind of has the spirit of the games, but
I know Tom Holland was
I've heard
not
it's good,
happy.
not great.
I know he wasn't happy with his performance because he was so worried about how he looked that he feels like his performance suffered because of it.
My
And-
biggest beefs are how they went about with the story and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I think it'll still be fun.
I'll watch it.
I think it'll be a nice way to basically teach people who know absolutely nothing about Uncharted about the highlights of Uncharted, because that's pretty much what that movie is.
Yes, it's
Like-
the highlights. It's the best stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is my capital ship's main hub. My portal that can get me to certain stations and my base if I don't want to fly there.
Station.
And these are all my storage bins. And make sure I have everything. See, I have to put all this crap away really quick. I try to keep organized, otherwise it drives me nuts with all the things you gather. Some of this I need for building my underwater base stuff, so I will keep it.
Back to Uncharted. I believe it got a better reception than the Assassin's Creed movie did.
It did.
Which, that almost had less to do with Assassin's Creed. And I've heard so many conflicting
That
things
one
about
is
it,
supposed
too.
to be set in universe too, like canon toward it, not like a separate thing like Uncharted.
Yeah.
Uncharted's more like the Tomb Raider movies, the Lara Croft ones with Angelina Jolie, and then the one based off the newer games that came out
with
later.
Alicia Vikander,
Yep.
who ironically is Michael Fassbender's wife.
Yep, the
But,
guy in Assassin's Creed. Yep.
Yeah, it gives me a lot of Subnautica vibes too. But this game makes me think of like Subnautica, but in space.
Oh, wait till you go to my underwater base, dude. It's very Subnautica-y there, yeah. Ironically, it's been making me want to watch the movie The Abyss again. That and that sci-fi documentary we were talking about earlier.
It's made me really want to watch it again too.
It's one of my DVDs I got back out of storage after the big move, so
It's a great movie. But
I'm
it's
making
been-
some more fuel really quick here.
it's been years since I've watched Jack play Subnautica, to where Below Zero wasn't even out yet. I think that's what it's called, something like that, the more Frozen one.
Is that the Subnautica sequel?
I think so. I'd have to look. But yeah, they definitely nail the atmosphere. And there's some
I watched
freaky
Markiplier
monsters.
play a little bit of it, but there are nasty aliens in this too, but the really bad ones you have to kind of provoke into coming out.
Yeah, this is like giant Leviathan like things.
Underwater, yeah.
Yeah. But they're very similar games actually.
Oh, okay. I was reading that about in the chat too about Below Zero.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh really, was it? I didn't know it was completely rewritten and overhauled. It's called I have been bad at not keeping up with things like games for so long. Except like certain things I will keep up with, but right now my bulk of media attention has been, as far as like movies or games, has been the MCU.
We did see, without any spoilers for those who care, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It was really fun.
Yep, it was my Mother's Day request that we go see it.
I still prefer, I think, Spider-Man, but I really like both.
They're so different, though, and
Yeah.
I was actually having an online discussion today with one of my friends about it and their husband, and how it has a very different, without spoilers, of course, it has a very different feel than a lot of the other Marvel movies, to where it just feels completely different. It's super Sam Raimi.
That's the guy who directed it, who also did Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 with Tobey Maguire, Evil Dead, and such.
Yeah. But
You gotta just stress
the
it.
tone, they constantly brought up Evil Dead, and I'm like, no, I'm getting more Drag Me to Hell vibes from this one.
Yeah, I see that.
But,
Hang on, we're under attack again.
oh no,
More action is actually happening than I thought was going to happen tonight. So.
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Well, that's a cool shot of my ship.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Nice, yeah. They're attacking us.
That is true. The first Doctor Strange was a completely different tone and feel. But
I love the
Doctor
first
Strange, you kind of needed to.
I kind of still like the first one more, but I would need to watch Multiverse multiple times. But it was a real trip. It was awesome.
I liked the pacing better, and I think they had a few stronger character things in Multiverse of Madness than they did in the first Doctor Strange
Yeah.
movie. However,
A lot of that is built through the rest of the MCU, so
yeah.
you're with these characters for so long and so consistently, you get more and more attached to them if you're into it, you know?
Well, Hannah, the thing with a lot of the MCU is they really do change to where you have completely different genres depending on what you're watching. Like, especially if you bring in like the TV shows and everything.
It's all connected events in the same world, but each sort of title or franchise has its own separate feel to it.
Yeah. And oh, I love
And you do
Tilda
have the ones
Swinton,
putting them
too.
together, like the big crossovers, and those are always epic. It's sort of like, think of it more like a TV show, but done on the big screen. It's just serialized better than many projects have been done with a consistent narrative. Although
Yeah,
there are
Comics. It is like
there are still
about the comics too.
Shields up.
Well, like with superhero genre, people have basically been saying DC's doing everything more dark,
And it's very vague.
and how Marvel's been doing things a lot more light. And I'm like, have you been watching most of Phase 4 lately? No. But I'm like, unless you mean like literally in a lot of the DC, it's so dark you can't see anything, then yeah, that would make sense. That was Zack Snyder. But
That's stylistic choices.
yes.
I think we got them.
Yay! But
Okay, back onto base.
with
Here we
DC, it's
go.
been very hit or miss. I think more consistently, Marvel has been doing better, but a lot of that is Marvel has spent years planning before they do anything. DC doesn't do that. They never have. They just say, this could be cool, and throw, their hands up and do it.
To some extent,
Yeah, kind
it's
of.
more just how the direction they've been taking the movies.
Yeah. And,
But
well,
definitely, especially with like the Batman or the
Oh,
Dark
God.
Knight trilogy, they're not really fantastical, but more like superheroes in the real world, which I
but
dig
then
too.
you have
I just have always
Shazam
loved my
and
Marvel.
Aquaman and Wonder
Yeah.
Woman that they're taking a lot more of the lighthearted tones.
Some things here aren't
Yes,
wanting
they
to
do.
load in yet, like I thought might happen.
Is DC definitely likes to start over, and that's another problem as well.
I can't see.
Marvel
Yeah, I'm
spent
getting-
7 years planning out the MCU before they even started with the first Iron Man movie, because they knew it's what they wanted to do.
There we go. Let's try
DC
that again.
did
I
not do
watched
that, and
on
it shows. Which is why they always reboot everything. And they're gonna have to now get a new Flash, because he's gonna probably be in prison for being crazy. and trying to kill a woman in Hawaii.
My landing pad is not wanting to spawn in.
Oh shit.
Normally it doesn't do this as
Oh,
much.
shit.
We were just talking about the graphics earlier, and I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. I feel bad. We should go back up here. ASMR Days, if you're still with us. This doesn't happen as often to me, but the fact that I'm streaming as well, and I forgot to turn my external system fan on. But yeah, my base isn't wanting to all spawn in, so my little landing pad isn't showing up where it should.
Mm-hmm.
It should be right there, dude. See if I can land just on the island here and have it appear. So yeah, this is embarrassing.
Yeah, it could be worse.
It shouldn't look like that. So let's give it a minute and see if everything appears. If not, I'll warp down here on my portal, which is not scaled in yet. Yeah. It's always when you're showing people something on a game that's really cool. Here we go, it's all coming in. It normally takes a fraction of that long, but right now it's going slow. I'm actually going to click the fan on really quick too.
I thought it was on.
No, I forgot to turn it on, I think. No, it is on, so it's just being slow.
Yeah.
Well, bear with us. Have I tried blowing on the cartridge? Not yet. Yeah, what the hell? You're seeing through walls and
I
stuff.
do understand why Nintendo says not to do that, because what you're
It's tried and true, everyone's done it.
oh, of course, but you're potentially putting moisture on a circuit
What
board,
happens if I try to go in?
and that's not okay. But literally, I talked to a dude today.
Yeah,
who
it's derping out. I shouldn't be in the
that.
water like this. Okay. Maybe if I leave and come back.
Yes, the
this
glitch
is what I need to
gremlin
do.
strikes again. Oh my god.
That's very glitch gremlin. Back to the ship. If that doesn't fix it, then I don't know what we'll do, because that's where I was planning on doing most of the rest of my stream tonight. That's sort of what I've been focusing on. But I had to leave to get silver.
Silver.
But yeah, you can send all of your other frigates on missions from this ship, and they'll bring back supplies, or maybe something bad will happen, and they're
Maybe
gone.
they'll die.
Yeah, they'll be gone for real time, maybe a few hours to several, and then they'll come back and report. Probably, but I'd rather not, because then I'd have to start the stream over again.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens if I take the other shortcut, if I don't want to fly down on my ship, which is what I was going to do, because it was the scenic route.
Now that you've seen the scenic route.
I can also pilot this ship from there and send it through space. It's like giving a tour. That's where I manage my frigates. And that's what lets me summon my smaller exocraft anywhere in any system that this ship is nearby. Let's go through Stargate. That's what it makes me think of. Hold on to your butts. It's named Timaeus because that was the book the philosopher Plato wrote about Atlantis, the underwater lost city.
Yep.
If we can get there. I'm gonna blame the stream, even though that could just be an excuse, but I've been in and about this base a lot lately and it's never done that, so. Excuse all the gulping noises and such.
That just makes me want to make loud, annoying gulping noises now more.
It'd be worse if you were wearing a head mic, but sadly we have to use the mic built into the PlayStation camera.
It's not really sad because it's easier than to pick up more things.
Sure. Like us bantering.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like being on camera right now, so. That would be fun in certain instances.
Kind of like,
Here we go, everybody. This is
Camera
what it's
recorder.
supposed to look like.
much better.
When my ship lands. Okay, it was dripping out last time.
We're just having a moment.
generate my power. Gotta pick up some glass really quick. Glass and silver is primarily what I've been using, so... You can see the rings from my base on the horizon, which I like.
That's so cool.
And some of my underwater base down there. That's very Subnautica-esque, isn't it?
All this, like, underwater stuff, all the crafting stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that aspect...
And that wasn't there in the beginning. I mean, that you could swim underwater, but you couldn't build bases, you didn't have submarines.
Probably because of things like Subnautica, that they're like, okay...
That and they were focusing on the space travel aspect first and foremost, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And I may do more of that later, but... We explored a lost blue planet, that was fun.
Well,
yeah,
you
this
know,
is my
space,
base.
it is so beautiful.
Kind of cramped, but every time I try to build a massive one, I have trouble. I already may have trouble powering the underwater portion, but I'll get there. I'm gonna save really quick. Now we can go underwater and watch me play with the crafting mechanics a bit. I super dig the underwater atmosphere, which is why I wanted my home that isn't on my freighter to be underwater like this.
Well, it's very, you know, Subnautica, it's very Abyss, you know.
Yeah. I actually gotta make the underwater portions down there orange, because I've been digging the orange color scheme, especially with all the blue. Here we go. That's what I've been building, is an underwater base here. These will be my hydroponics domes, or whatever they're called, where I can grow stuff. There's my yellow submarine down there. And this is an all-glass building, which is actually what I'm working on now. But I needed more silver, so... Now we can get started and chill and build for a minute.
It's funny. It's like you were working on this a few days ago, and it's like all that other stuff just to get more silver, just to come back and do that.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. You can spend like a couple of hours exploring, grabbing some rare element or material you need just to come back and get back to it.
Yeah.
They've super overhauled the way the crafting works too from the initial launch, which was super messy. Now I would say it's definitely better than like the Fallout 4 building, like we were saying.
Well, that's...
But very different from like a Minecraft.
Yes.
But speaking of open world sort of sandbox games, I still really want to play Conan Exiles, even though it's had mixed reception. I know I would dig it. It'd be a good game for me to kind of vibe and zone out to, you know. Need to get Conan Exiles, and I need to get Red Dead Redemption 2 again. Oh wait, that's right, I wasn't going to use those. Sorry everyone, it's just going to be a little back and forth here.
I'm trying to think if there's a game that I am interested in right now.
You haven't been in the gaming mode as much.
No, I haven't.
But I love when you hang out while I play.
Well, I'm like...
There is so much horse stuff you can do in that game, and they're great, man. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh my god, have you watched the Viva La Dirt League's Red Dead Redemption 2 Logic?
Me or them?
Them.
I don't know if they have, but it's hilarious.
Oh my god.
It's even funnier if you've played the game.
Yes. And they just did a huge Kickstarter campaign because they're going to be expanding and making an actual studio. And I helped a little bit towards their pledging.
On their Kickstarter.
Yep. And so now my gamer tag Thunder Kitty is going to be on a brick in their studio, which they were doing another stream and
Here we go.
talking about like getting more people to do things, and they were gaming, and
They're a channel that does comedy videos, a lot of them parodying different video games or video game genres. Their biggest one is MMO parody, kind of like a World of Warcraft. And they also do D&D stuff.
Yeah, and they just did The Witcher, but it's like Witcher 3 with a few one thing from the show, which is basically how they do Dandelion / Jaskier. It's Joey Beatty. It's not whoever voices him in the game. It's
that
Joey
ginger
Beatty.
dude you showed me, Hannah, when I was down there, reminded me. His humor reminded me kind of them and some of the D&D TikToks that other kid watches. But here, see, look, we'll be able to now look out of the glass building while doing stuff and see all the fish and everything, and I just think it's super cool. Although it's not working like a non-underwater building, and it's technically not, so I may actually, I just realized, not be able to use this for my underwater base, because I think these blocks may be above water only, even with this watertight door I put on, so I didn't notice last time when I go through it.
If only you could put in some stuff, like in Minecraft, to make it all go away.
Yeah, it's a little different like that. My base has never been attacked. So far, I can be attacked by hostile creatures, or pirates, like, in the air.
Well, technically, could a pirate attack your base, though?
I don't know. I know they can attack settlements, and now you can also manage and, like, be a governor of a settlement. I just haven't done that yet. They can attack those.
I would think that...
Well, damn, I may have to just delete this and save the materials for other things. Because it's cool, but it defeats my purpose. I don't want it to be underwater, you know?
Yeah.
If that makes sense to you guys. I thought it would work. Like, in here, these ones work because they're built for underwater.
Yeah.
See, I'm not underwater anymore. So, yeah. All that glass and silver will go to other things I build. No, that would be crazy cool.
It would be so badass.
There are probably sea fish and bigger ones that hurt you, or aggressive. All the ones I've encountered on this planet, and I've encountered most, have been unaggressive. And I haven't encountered aggressive sea life yet, except for jellyfish that'll come after you when you start to mine resources down here.
I love my.
Or like these armored clams that'll snap at you, but nothing like goes out of their way to attack you like that.
That would be badass.
Not yet, anyways.
Yeah, not yet. You never know. They could pull more of a
It's less exciting
Subnautica.
than watching me build, but I'm just going to take this thing apart. Because it's cool, but I'd rather put something there that's functional.
Oh, definitely.
Especially since it actually took me like 2 hours just to flatten and clear out this spot of earth to build everything on, so I wasn't like hindered by terrain. Which you can like build into the terrain and to top it, but I wanted something a little more uniform.
But
It would save my butt when wiring it with electricity and stuff later too.
Well, Hannah, think about how games were 10 or 20 years ago from now.
Oh, it's incredible when you think what they could be, yeah, dude.
A lot of it, which is something that Corridor Crew mentioned, with like how technology seemed to upgrade. It's like adding more realistic things to it, but it's still taking the same amount of time to render, because it's the more they're able to make things do a lot more, but it still takes forever.
Oh yeah, the technology, what you're saying, will be pushed to its limits to make what is state of the art at the time.
And then that will keep pushing, because like I think of like 10, 20 years ago, the idea that I could have like a cell phone that is basically a computer and a camera and, well, a phone with like over 100 gigabytes of space. Like, no, it wouldn't have even been an idea.
Things are moving faster though.
Yes, there's some technologies that have been progressing. I know, like, 40 years ago even, they anticipated at this point our technology would be even further, but it's called people have been focusing on different things. But then you have people, love or hate him, Elon Musk, who is spearheading a lot of technological advances.
Tony Stark.
Basically, but if it's more like assholes, Tony Stark. Because he's an asshole. Brilliant, but an asshole.
Many assholes are. I mean, no, many brilliant people are, rather.
I was gonna say many assholes are assholes. I think that goes with the territory.
No, they're brilliant.
They think they are.
I think I'm actually going to make this a viewing sphere as well. Sorry if I kind of just zone out while building, guys.
He's crazy, but he does get done. I know that I talked to somebody who actually was an engineer for, like, who was a contracted engineer for Elon Musk, and was basically saying how even if Elon is wrong, you never tell him he's wrong. Even though, like, you can prove that he got that math wrong, you better not tell him. Otherwise, like, you'll be fired. Like, I think it could go either way with him now owning Twitter. The only reason he bought it is he didn't like a picture of him kept being shared.
Which is super, like, egocentric and showing off how rich you are, that you can buy a company just because, you know, they hurt your feelings. Essentially, am I right?
Mm-hmm. But he does want to advance some things with it and, like, expand it further.
That's fine, you guys.
Mm-hmm. I think we should probably be done soon, too, because I still have to make dinner, and it's still a work night, but...
Yeah, it's about midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna quickly fix the colors on these. But this will be the placement for my base, basically. Sorry about the one building there.
Oh god, yes. Better him than Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg is...
And I may fix the terrain
Elon
here,
has...
so it's not, so it's that level all
less
the way.
of an asshole.
Kind of like
They're
it.
both assholes, but Elon has more humanity, in
Yeah.
a way. It's funny, the wax figure of Zuckerberg looks more like a real person than the real Zuckerberg. It's really funny. But he's got these soulless dead eyes, and I love how in one of, like, the cases against him in Facebook for giving away private information, the judge was basically saying how, so, do you want to tell us right now where you're staying, what hotel you're staying at, and what you ate? And he's like, no, how would I do that? And he's like, exactly, which is why Facebook shouldn't be giving that information away. And,
well, if you give it away, it's kind of your choice at that point.
well, no. Facebook illegally sharing your data, like...
Oh, well, that's different, yeah.
That was the point
But
of
the
that
people who
case.
upload everything that they're doing,
Well, that's on them.
especially, like, on Twitter and such, every, like, second to second, well, you know, that's why you do how you do, and be careful about it.
Yeah. No, the problem is, like, things like Google or Facebook. With, like, Facebook, if you are signed into it,
It's hard to see if they've got the
technically,
colors on
it
these.
will track every single thing you are doing. Like, if you're signed into it on your computer and not logged out, it can know every website you're on and everything, which is why it seems like it's reading your mind all the time. And they got in trouble for it.
Making sure I get everything switched over to the orange color scheme before I quit here. Hang on.
I never stay logged in, however, I'm always on Messenger, but that doesn't do it quite the same.
Yeah, that's the better view mode here.
Oh, I'm always on. I actually have a compulsion with constantly, if I'm bored, or it's the constant need of dopamine, I'll constantly click on my Facebook icon on my phone to where for the, like, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and most of Sunday, I moved my icon for Facebook away so I wouldn't click on it and potentially get spoilers for the movie.
I'm on every so often, but
I'm on multiple times a day.
I'm a terrible lurker, and I usually am not on very long. I've been on more lately than I have in a while, and I've been trying to keep up with it, but all the traveling on our trip back to where we moved from was tiring too.
Well, I prefer YouTube and Discord as well, but if I'm at work and I'm bored,
that's all.
I will definitely jump on to Facebook because I can just have the reels going and just scroll through that all the time. Yeah, that is fair.
One more sweep to see if I got
I feel bad. I've not been on Instagram as much, so I've not been liking as many of the things that have been put up.
I've actually been on there more than I thought I would be, but not really posting, just liking shit.
Well, that's part of the fun of it, is just seeing all this cool stuff and just being like, I like this.
Where are we going? I forgot these.
But technically that's also Facebook, because it's the same.
Now it is, yeah.
Well, yeah, because Facebook bought them out,
them,
and now it's
so.
Meta. Just such a stupid name. And another company owned it, and there was a big lawsuit.
Ooh, something just got me. Oh, I got too close to that.
Oh, jellyfish!
And she walloped me, so like that can happen. You can get hurt that way.
Nice.
I think I follow both of those. Yeah.
I don't remember which ones I follow. I never remember anything, though. My memory is bad. About certain things. Some things I can tell you in far too accurate of detail. While others, I'm like, fuck, I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, Jenny.
I think that about does
like,
it for now.
If it's D&D or roleplay related, I can probably tell you down to like what that character drank that day. You know. Okay, then good. But anyway, so while I can remember every detail about like a fictional person, I couldn't tell you what I had for breakfast today.
That's a very ADHD thing.
Yeah, it is. Which I was diagnosed with ADD. However, that's now lumped together. ADD is not really a thing anymore. It's just another aspect of ADHD.
It's like autism and Asperger's.
Yeah. Which is it's now all the autism spectrum.
I hope I don't miss any. I keep seeing more I miss because I should have made them that color from the get-go, but I was more concerned with getting the layout right. Yep, there we go.
They're beautiful.
Underwater base where I can do most of my crap.
Jellies.
Yeah, there's jellyfish. He's like...
Apparently jellyfish, or at least that one species of jellyfish that you tried, was horrible except
these
for...
serpenty guys.
Body.
Yeah. You won't get me trying it.
Well, I don't plan on trying jellyfish either. I wouldn't mind getting those chips that taste like fugu, though.
Fugu?
Fugu.
Fugu?
That way I can try it without being stupid and dangerous. Besides, the only place
poisonous. It can be.
It can potentially
and fugu
kill
is
you.
pufferfish, for anyone who doesn't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one more thing here. Not that.
Sweet.
I just realized I'm gonna want...
Wait, your event, so like the concert tomorrow?
Yeah. We're gonna go see IMX.
Nice. That should be fun. I can't remember when I first heard about it, but I've wanted to try it in some way, shape, or form for a long time. Oh, I hope you get to. Let us know either way, because we want to know.
Yeah, I was
how it
talking
goes.
with them earlier on Discord about that.
Okay. And then be like, she's gonna touch it up, don't worry. It's like it was one pass and she didn't want to hurt me.
Talking about tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Other
shit,
kitty
it
here
is?
does tattoos.
It's Friday the 13th this weekend?
Nice. But yeah, if you ever notice my tattoos on the videos on the channel, those are most of them, except for like 2 from Thunder Kitty.
Which, I haven't even touched up his. We live in the same place.
Yeah.
I've got a tattoo I've wanted to do since before we moved that I haven't. And part of me has been tempted to have someone else do it because I'd have to awkwardly twist my arm and use my left hand. So I'm like, do I want to do that? I may just have someone else do it for me.
Alright, time to go up through my moon pool door here.
Every time I see that moon pool, all I think of is H2O, just add water. Because there's the,
Yeah, I've not
the moon
watched that.
pool. I may make you watch some of it. It's super cheesy at first, but then you're like, then the writing improves a little bit.
Oh, that's a glitch too. He shouldn't be in here.
Give him kisses. Mwah. Kill it.
There we go. I don't want my place infested, you know. I just wanted to see if I could get a look out the windows. That's cool. See, I dig in the atmosphere. I think I would have fun playing this in VR. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I've been lazy, and usually play this when I'm tired or just want to be chill. So I'll probably play more before I stream again, just because there'll always be more things added to the base and stuff. But you may see me do some more underwater things, but that's primarily been what I've been focusing on lately.
Yeah, my first tattoo was...
As you wish.
my first earlier on tattoos were more scattered about than when I was learning how to do it. I was like, wherever I can reach is fine.
Oh, there's my little pet robot guy.
Yes.
Like a bit from Tron almost, yeah. Well, I know that may not have been super exciting, but I don't mind chatting and visiting while playing this game, especially if I'm just doing like mindless mining and stuff. Or building, which is what I was hoping to start off with, but I had to go on that little adventure. For,
yeah, definitely GLaDOS. But it's like a BB GLaDOS.
I wish you could name them.
Oh.
Yeah, you can. You can keep the
1812,
animals
that would be
as pets,
great.
though. The animals in this, you can keep them as pets, the ones that you ride around, and have them as a safe companion. I just haven't tried it yet.
Have like a little herd of them.
I don't know how many you can keep. This will hurt me, but here's an aerial view of the...
Shit.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll land in the water. My life support needs to be recharged here. I'll recharge for the next time I go underwater. Well, I'm almost out of those, so I need to make some more. But yeah, you can do gestures and things for playing online. I haven't really done many. But yeah, there's a better look at what my outfit is right now.
I wouldn't mind watching, like, that would be something fun to sleep to again, is Farscape.
Sadly, like our physical copies is some of the things that we didn't bring back with us yet.
And aren't they Blu-ray?
They might be. I think they're DVD, but either way.
I thought we got Farscape on Blu-ray, which we can't sleep to. Well, we could always...
for watching. Hop into my ship. Yeah, but a lot of our box sets aren't here.
We're missing more than half of our DVDs. Or DVD/Blu-ray.
We'll go on up to our ship and call it a night, everyone. I hope to do this more. I'm more likely to actually stream this than Quake, because it's a very different energy, and I usually have to stream later at night when I want to be more mellow. But I have thought of streaming Cyberpunk 2077 a little bit, too.
Oh, that would be so badass. You got to do it sometime.
I have 2 characters going concurrently on there, taking slightly separate paths, but I'm not sure which one I'll play as yet.
And I second that. You know, you do need to finish the series sometime.
It's so good.
It's a series I'm very glad to have been introduced to. It's one of my top favorite sci-fi shows. I want to say it's lighthearted, but compared to some of the others,
It just depends.
It
It's
depends. It's quirky, and that's one of the best parts.
Farscape. I would call Farscape quirky.
Yes. And I love Muppety things because my brain cannot see them as puppets. My brain sees them as living things.
That's a cool looking ship.
Oh, damn, nice. And yeah, the computer's been fixed for quite a while now.
Oh, cool, yeah. Have fun with the Skyrim. I can only play that in VR right now, too.
I can't play VR. I get motion sick and really bad headaches. And I act overly obnoxious when I'm playing VR, more than normal. And I'm already
more
obnoxious.
than normal.
I'm already obnoxious, and I fully wear that and know that I do it. But this is different. I get even worse. I mean, this game's given me a little headache, but it usually does. But
Well, I haven't been
I
trying
knew you were gonna kind of say something. That's why I felt the need to say more obnoxious than normal, because
Oh, yes.
I knew you would say something.
But I haven't been trying to play different than I normally would for those I know who watch with motion sickness, just because it's easier for me. But that's why you can also just listen or
Yeah.
check in once in a while. I will obsessively organize my stuff though. It's just my way.
He's all good.
There we go. All that glass. Hardly any silver though.
Silver. Ooh, that reminds me. Cobra Kai Season 5 is now coming out in September.
Oh, nice.
They pushed it forward by a few months, so it won't come out around New Year's anymore.
I've done that with most seasons. They've finished them ahead of time. I still need to catch up with those with my sister Zilly, if they're still watching. I
Yep,
think so.
looks like it.
But I think we're going to want to call it a night for reals in a minute. Let me just move this stuff. It's kind of my quitting ritual I do. Go through my loadout and make sure I have everything put away where I want it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Well, for those who tuned in to watch, or watch this later, thank you very much, and this has been fun. I really like to just chill and play this game, so... Oh, Stardew Valley on the chat. Yeah, I've been missing that too.
We'll play again.
We've been having issues with our Switch version, but...
Yeah, I need to see why it's not letting us do
we
it
may
on
have
the
to
dock
buy
Switch.
it again on our new one. But I have it on computer and can always do that. But I've been wanting to start a new farm. Name my guy after the hero from Monkey Island, Guybrush Threepwood. Well, I'm going to end the stream, but we will catch everyone later. Oh wait, I better save first.
Oh yeah, I was going to say.
Put stuff away after getting off of my ship, so that's why I have this here. Alrighty. Catch everybody later. Have a good night.